wonder what Arsenio's doing right now.
Like Arsenio.
And now, Arsenio.
Arsenio.
Arsenio, Arsenio, Arsenio.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rsay podcast. My name is Arsenio Mash. You can follow me on Instagram at RSAYSR, or you can follow the podcast page at Rsay Podcast. And you can also go to patreon.com/Rsay to get exclusive content and new stuff that's going up. That's going to be up there quite often here soon. So, yeah, that'd be cool. Thank you so much. Last week's episode, I kind of did that on the fly, and I was in some kind of way, I've like during that entire week, all last week, man, I was like extremely depressed, man. And I just had to fight my way through it. I'm feeling a little better now. But that was probably the most depressed I've ever been, and it may not have shown that. I'm not sure if that really showed in the podcast last week, but I was, and I still am, for real. I ain't going front. It's getting a little better now. It's like for some reason, and it always happens to be in like fall, right before fall starts, man. I just get into this deep depression, and I just start to question what everything means. What does all of this mean? Why are we here? What are we doing here? And add on top of that, taking the mushrooms and been microdosing that, and how sobering that's been. It's been extreme. It's been a little hard, extremely hard, harder than usual. I'll say that. Luckily I got a supportive family, man, and they were there for me every step of the way, so I appreciate that. It's like I get into these little grooves of these bouts of depression where it's physical. My entire body feels it. My mind feels it. My mind is exhausted. It's just tired. It's just constantly running. What the fuck is this? What is this? What are we here for? Why are we here? Jesus Christ, this sucks. Got to do this shit again, waking up again, doing the same shit again, all over again. For what? What is the fucking purpose? And that always has me just questioning myself. And then a part of me, always reflects back onto what my stepfather told me, that this is a marathon and not a race. And I try to think about that a lot, as much as I can remember it. And it helps, but at the same time, it's like you think of a fucking marathon. How long is this fucking marathon? Lord have mercy. So I just want to just say that if any of you are feeling that way and you are close to doing something to yourself, please contact somebody. Contact me. We can talk. It's all good, yo. I've been there. Luckily I did have somebody to talk to. Shout out Kyle Davis. You know what I'm saying? But it was good talking to him, man, and he definitely uplifted my spirits, yo. Ended up playing a fucking video game that something I haven't done in so fucking long. One thing he said was, one of the things he said was, you have to get lost in your distractions. So I was like, okay. I was supposed to be taking a break from podcasting. But let me go over here. Let me try to play this video game. All right. My PlayStation 4, it's broken at the moment. I don't have the 5. So I was like, fuck it, let me just play the 3. Ended up playing Assassin's Creed 1. God, that game is so wonky. Man, oh man. I don't remember beating it the first time, and I don't think I'm going to beat it this time either, but the second and third, those were much better games. But I've also been kind of getting lost up until last week. I was kind of getting lost in growing either mushrooms or cannabis. And so I obviously, y'all know, I grew mushrooms first. So I tried my hand at cannabis, and it just seems a lot more complicated to me than mushrooms. I'm sure I know mushrooms can get very complicated, but the basic part of it is really easy. It just takes patience. And then so I had like 4 little plants, and maybe 5, I can't remember exactly. So once they started sprouting, it started getting a little cold. We had like a cold blast a couple weeks ago. So I was like, well, shit, let me put these in the ground because I'm not going to have space to bring them into the house. I mean, I can't grow them in the house. There's nowhere for me to put it unless I do it in the attic, which gets extremely cold up there. And then I got to invest in heaters and shit like that. So I'm like, fuck that. So I put the plants out there. I dug a hole and I put the plants in there, and added some potting mix and shit like that. And they seem to be growing good for the first day. Day 2 of being out there, I guess a rabbit dug it up, and the plants were everywhere. So in an attempt to fix it, I put the plants back and added some more soil. And then I came back 2 days later, and they were completely eaten. So I think it was rabbits, because next to the holes you can see like real little long footprints. So so I'm pretty sure it was a rabbit. That we got a bunch of hares that run around in the backyard a lot. But now since that failed, I got to re-up on my the fuck is that called? The personal fable. My bad, Tanasi. Matter of fact, special shout out to Tanasi Gardens. He is going to be on the podcast here soon. We've been talking. And he's got a different set of grain this time. It's not like corn, or it's not like corn feed. So it's like completely different. It's like maize or some shit. It's black. But and then I ended up getting spores from another place, and then it's been like 2 weeks maybe, and I'm seeing a little bit of growth in the jars, but nothing crazy. So I got to put them back in there. But this time I've decided to grow golden teachers and albino A+. Never really heard of it, but I did look up a picture of it, and I don't know, it seems all right, I guess. Give them a shot. So on this whole little shroom journey, I've noticed that the dried shrooms in the pill form that I have they're good, they work, but there's something about having them fresh, not even dried, just completely fresh, cut up, put into some orange juice, that just it gives it something. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't know. And it's disgusting. It's nasty as hell, but there's just something about eating them fresh, or eating them whole and putting them into orange juice that just, like, I don't know. It does something. It's like, oh shit, here we go. Because it's going to hit. I mean, fresh generally hits harder, from what I understand, than dried. There's one, between cannabis and mushrooms, I can't believe the amount of types of strains there are. There's so many different types of strains. With cannabis alone, there's probably 1,000 different types of strains. And it's like, how the fuck do you know which one is which? How do you know which one is good without having to try them all? You know what I'm saying? Luckily, it took some trial and error. Even last month, I ended up getting Acapulco Gold. It was all right. It wasn't the best, it was okay. So I had to go back to my classic Italian, Alaskan Thunderfuck, ATF. And, that's good old faithful right there for me. I ended up getting some crumble this time too. I've never tried crumble. Well, I did now. I mean, I done smoked half a blunt. Well, not even half a blunt. See, that's the thing about good weed. You don't have to smoke a whole fucking blunt, especially if you got some crumble in it. Let's see. I can show you the crumble. It's right here next to me. here in Virginia, I think this is illegal. You're not supposed to manipulate it in any way. So that means edibles and shit like that. Vapes, you can't do that. It's illegal. So technically, that's illegal. Shout out to High Life DC. That's where I get my my strains from. It is in DC. So in DC they have it's a different set of laws. In DC they have a gifting. Or a donation rather. So like if technically you buy like I don't have it with me. I left it in the car. But they'll give you a little pipe or something like that as a gift as what you purchase. So you'll purchase like the bowl and then they'll give you an ounce. But if you buy an eighth, obviously, it's a smaller, well, I don't know. I don't know how it's all done, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, they give you something in return with the weed and they gift you the weed. So that's kind of a loophole there. So okay. But here in Virginia, gifting or donation-based stuff is illegal. Not yet. You can't do it yet. You can gift. Like you can gift up to 1 ounce to another person. And they can gift you up to 1 ounce. Let's see. You can't have more than 1 ounce in a car. Or some shit like that. I can't remember. But yeah, I think anything more than 1 ounce in the car is the fine. Yeah, is the fine. So it's like $25. And in Virginia, they can't ask why does your car smell like weed? So I say that to say this. I go up there, I give my donation, they gift me the weed. I drive back to Virginia. Now, in Virginia, it is not illegal to have it in your vehicle. You can have, like I said, you can have up to 1 ounce. So it's like they're almost encouraging us to go to DC and bring weed back. You know what I'm saying? Except if you get caught with the crumble and shit like that, that's different. That's a $25 fine as well. And if I think after a certain amount of times, if you keep getting them, they send you to like a rehab, type deal, like they do for Alcoholics Anonymous. Crazy as shit. It's crazy. I don't know, but anyway, look, what I'm doing, I don't think is legal, right? I'm good. I'm good. I should be good. Ain't nobody gonna run up in here. Plus, it's all personal use. It's not like I'm selling the shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, ATF. I feel that maybe. Oh, should I pull a bud out? You want to see a bud? Nothing fucking spectacular. It's just a little bit. So there's so many strains of cannabis. Now there's also like a fucking trillion strains of mushrooms as well. Look behind me. See this right here? Whoa. That right there. I thought that was it. Hell nah. Hell no. There's enough strains probably to fill this whole back wall full of different types, different strains, different I forget what they call them. I don't know. I don't think they're called strains. I don't know what they're called, but yeah. Crazy. So I want to ask y'all a question. When was the first time you ever tried cannabis? And I want to hear your stories, your first cannabis story, especially if it's, traumatic. I want to hear like some crazy shit. If it's not too crazy, or if y'all willing to give it up anyway and tell me the story, I'd love to hear it. Or any funny weed stories or any funny mushroom stories, especially. Mushroom stories especially would be funny as hell. So I would love to hear y'all's mushrooms and cannabis stories, man. Yo, that'd be fucking cool as shit. So I'll start y'all off, actually. Back in Christmas, maybe November, December of 96. Look. The people that's going to hear this, man, I've never said this out loud. Ever. All right. So Christmas time, 96. My mom was seeing this guy, and he was a good friend, and he was a good friend to me and my brother. And hey, look, I never knew what he did for a living. I never asked what he did for a living, but I tell you what, he had everything like brand spanking new, bro. So yeah, he was balling whatever he was doing. And he ends up giving like an eighth of a brick. Old Mexican brick, about that big, putting it into a box, wrapping it up, and putting it under our Christmas tree. Well, I was 14 at the time. And shit, I ain't have no bud. I would go in that motherfucker, break off a little motherfucking piece and wrap that shit right back up just perfectly. And I started getting real nervous because I was doing that shit way too much, yo. By the time he got it, it was like maybe half. Yo, I smoked the most of that shit wide up, man. Yo, he's never heard that story either. And he opens it up. He opens up the press and he was like, "Oh shit, yeah, look at this." He ends up rolling the blunt and we both smoke it. I never said shit to him about it. I wonder if he ever knew, man. I wonder if he ever figured that shit out or knew what I was doing, because I mean, I smoked a lot of that shit, yo. Oh shit. I don't know the guy's name, but shout out to Toady, man. Shout out to Toady. What's up, bro? Hope you're doing all right out there. So yeah, let me hear some of your funny stories, some of your funny cannabis stories, some of your funny mushroom stories. I would love to hear them, man. Send them to 8blocksentertainment@gmail.com. Yeah, I would love to hear them, man. Send them there. All right. So that's all I got for you today. I really do appreciate it. The support that I'm getting on and off, social media has been awesome, and I do want to keep going. Like I said in the last one, there is really no quit in me yet. There's no quitting in me yet for podcasting. So I got to keep moving forward. I got to keep thinking of things to talk about, thinking of things to do, and try to make this shit fucking interesting. And because God damn it, I am sick of being boring. I'm sick of, editing like a motherfucker, because I'm sitting there and sometimes between edits, I'll have like 15 minutes. I'll just sit there and just try to think of something to say. You know what I mean? So I want to take more of a personal approach, if you will. I think I'm going to have to get a pop mic too. One of those pop filters, because I do pop my peas a lot. So yeah, send in those stories. I'm doing the best that I can. We're going to keep this going, but I need some engagement though, man. Please send all your stories, all your hate mail, all your love mail to 8blocksentertainment@gmail.com. I guess I'll holla at y'all later. Peace.
I wonder what Arsenio's doing right now.
And now, Arsenio.
Rsay.